On the 9th of August, Kenyans will be heading to the polls to pick the country's fifth president in what pundits say will be a hotly contested election. Four candidates are competing for the country's top position. William Ruto, having served 2 terms as deputy president in the current government, is eager to succeed his current boss, who is feuding with. Raila Odinga, who has unsuccessfully contested the presidency 4 times before, is his main challenger. He has the backing of the outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta, his former foe. Two other candidates, George Wajakoya and David Mwawure, complete this list. Besides the presidential election, people will also go to the polls to vote in voting governors, members of the National Assembly, senators, and members of the County Assembly. 12 people will be nominated to the National Assembly according to the Constitution to represent the special interest groups, including people with disabilities, youths, and workers. Joining me on Word now to discuss the upcoming elections is a professor of international relations and strategic studies, David Awurawa. Thank you so much for joining us on the news. What do you think are the issues for Kenya that would shape the coming Tuesday's election?
Thank you very much. There are many of them. At the forefront are economic issues. At the moment, Kenya is facing economic challenges like many other countries of the world, though it doesn't seem to have been affected as much as some other countries, since it's able to manage some 3 to 5% increase in its GDP. Projected for 2022. But despite that, inflation is very high. Poverty rate has widened, and people are groaning under the negative influence of the economic downturn. Of course, not caused by internal issues, caused mainly by the COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war, but people feel the negative effects are the same. So economic issues are the forefront of the election. Of course, there is also the issue of security. Kenya has been affected by terrorist activity, mainly coming from Somalia and surrounding countries. But Kenya has been affected. So security issues will also be at the center stage of the issues that will influence how the election will go. And of course, regional cooperation will be another issue. Kenya is a major player in East Africa, in fact, the leading country in East Africa, and relations with other countries, including troubled Congo, is also critical. It has affected the country one way or the other. So these are issues that will influence the election. Of course, Kenya has not been known to have stability during and post-election. The most devastating in recent times is 2007 election, where tens of thousands were displaced and thousands were killed. And so that's why there's the apprehension that it is hoped that the election will be free, fair, and credible, so that there will be stability, after the election. So these are the issues that will define the election next Tuesday.
Quite interesting. Now, Kenya has also had its own gains in democracy. So, looking at the incumbent Uhuru Kenyatta, who remains center stage in the polls and is backing leading candidate Raila Odinga, who was his former arch rival and is running for the presidency for a record 5th term. It does appear like a two-horse race, even though there are other candidates. What do you think about the two main contenders in this race?
Well, Raila Odinga and William Ruto certainly are the two leading candidates. Ruto has been the vice president to Uhuru Kenyatta in the past decade or so now. And so he has his supporters, he has his base across the country. Odinga has been contested, just like you have pointed out. Raila Odinga has contested 4 times. This is his 5th. The other time, he had to share government with Mwai Kibaki in the aftermath of that troubled election of 2007. But there have been stability in the past 8-9 years or so, and Kenya is touted to have made gains in democratic gains. since it has been largely stable under the incumbent president. That is what people are hoping, that Kenya will be able to consolidate on the stability that they have enjoyed in the past 8 years or thereabouts now.
Yeah.
So that the election of next Tuesday will be free, fair, credible, and the post-election condition will also be stable, such that whoever wins, between the two leading candidates, Kenya can continue to enjoy stability and serve as a shining light of democracy in East Africa and indeed the African continent. But certainly, Odinga and Ruto are the leading candidates, and one of them, although Odinga is seen to have an edge, he has contested several times, he has his base, and with the support of the incumbent president, it almost seems certain that he will win. But of course, Ruto cannot be, just dismissed like that. So it's between Ruto and Odinga come next Tuesday. But what everybody prays that is that the election will be free, fair, credible, and there'll be stability in the post-election.
That's what the African continent is actually looking forward to seeing how it's going to turn out, and even the world. We'll have a lot of things to talk about, in the coming days until Tuesday. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Professor of International Relations and Strategic Studies, David Awurawo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.